A spelunker's light catches something clinging to cave stone above black water. Gray skin stretched over humanoid limbs before it drops and swims away with wings stroking underwater. A monkey tumbles off a dog, then stands upright and runs on two legs like it's done this 1,000 times before. A winged figure lunges against rusted bars, speaking threats instead of screaming. These are the moments that should be impossible. The clips that make believers out of skeptics and leave scientists scrambling for explanations. What you're about to witness will make you question everything you thought couldn't exist, because someone was there with a camera when it did. Deep inside a flooded cave system, a spelunker's headlamp catches something clinging to the ceiling above dark water. What looks like a massive bat unfolds slowly, revealing gray-purple skin stretched over humanoid limbs and clawed feet gripping stone. From my perspective, what's unsettling isn't just its appearance, it's how deliberately it moves before vocalizing and dropping into the water. Online debate split instantly. Skeptics point to animatronics or CGI enhancement. Others argue no hoax would include that specific swimming motion, wings stroking underwater like some prehistoric amphibian. If creatures this large still hide in submerged caves, what else swims beneath us undetected? A man films a monkey confronting a dog in an open yard.
Está jugando con el perro. Se cayó y siguió corriendo. Esto ya es demasiado raro. No sé si reírme o irme antes de que me vea.
The monkey stands upright on both feet, leaves tied around its waist, and a rag in its hand as if ready to swing it. When the dog barks, the monkey drops the rag and charges, forcing the dog to retreat before pausing and chasing again. Online, some say it is trained behavior or simple dominance display. Personally, what unsettles me is how naturally it stood upright, almost aware of itself. A winged figure lunges against rusted bars, its cracked gray skin and matted hair catching harsh sunlight in what looks like a dusty village square.
¿Dónde están los niños que te llevaste? ¡Contesta!
Suéltame y tal vez los veas respirar.
Oye, Pedro, cierren la jaula, sujétenla.
No podrán mantenerme aquí.
The filmer stays dangerously close, camera moving back and forth as this thing, part human, part something ancient, spreads massive black wings that press against the cage. What unsettles me is its calculated stillness between outbursts, the way it speaks threats instead of screaming. Online debate split fast. Elaborate costume versus genuine folklore encounter. If something this intelligent knows how to use hostages as bargaining chips, cages might not hold it much longer. A man kneels beside a freshly dug hole in the desert, flashlight casting harsh shadows across bare ground. He leans forward, expectant. Then something hairless and muscular pulls itself from the earth. Small horns, bat-like ears, skin slick and purplish under the light. It crawls forward on knuckles, surveying the darkness with an unsettling intelligence. Online, debate erupted immediately. Some dismissed it as elaborate CGI, pointing to the cinematic framing. Others noted the creature's deliberate movements, how it pauses to assess before advancing. What unsettles me is the man's reaction. He steps back but doesn't run, as if he summoned this. The water holds a stillness that feels wrong, thick with sediment and shadow, where visibility dies just beyond the beam of light.
Aquí pensé que no me haría nada. hasta que de pronto me comenzó a agarrar muy fuerte. Yo no sabía qué hacer ni cómo reaccionar. Pensé que era mi final, pero aquí estoy.
A diver, working alone on corroded metal valves, has no warning before the first pale shape bursts from a pipe opening, all teeth and reaching claws. What unnerves viewers most isn't the attack itself, but how the creature moves, not like an animal defending territory, but hunting with clear intent. Skeptics insist it's CGI from a horror project. Yet others note the diver's genuine panic, the chaotic camera work impossible to fake mid-struggle. Personally, what disturbs me is the second creature's calm grip, holding its prey with almost clinical patience. If something can distinguish between threat and meal underwater, what prevents it from following divers back to shore? This clip spread rapidly online because viewers couldn't agree on how it was made. The creature's movement is unnervingly smooth. Its legs bend and shift with coordinated weight distribution as it emerges from the shadows. What unsettles me is the sudden turn. It doesn't stumble or hesitate. It simply pivots and vanishes behind the car in under 2 seconds, as if it knew exactly where to hide. Some say it's obvious CG mo. Others point out the lighting on its body matches the garage perfectly. If something this large can disappear that quickly in a confined space, how would you know it was there at all? A car door becomes the only barrier between safety and something inhuman.
No, ya, mi gente, por favor, ayúdenme. Hay una mujer o un hombre que no sé qué sea. No sé qué quiera tampoco. Ay, no, qué horror. Mi gente, por favor, estoy solo. Ay, no, ¿qué quieren? ¿Qué quieren? Por favor, no me hagas nada. Ay, no, estoy muy desconcertado, mi gente, por favor, ayúdenme. Ay, no puedo respirar, me está dando. Sí, no, papi, los seguros. No.
The filmer, trapped alone in his vehicle inside a stark white garage, films through the passenger window as a figure stands motionless outside, long tangled hair obscuring its face completely, refusing to move or speak. His sob turned to screams when he realizes the locks aren't engaged. The door swings open. From my perspective, what's most disturbing is the figure's patience. It doesn't rush. It waits, as if certain the door will eventually open. Online, some insist this is staged acting, but others point to the filmer's hyperventilating panic and raw terror, reactions nearly impossible to fake convincingly on camera. What unsettles me isn't the creature's appearance, but its comfort level raiding a domestic space.
Están sacando los huevos.
No hagas ruido.
Mira cómo corren.
A farmer in rural Spain whispers he's catching something stealing eggs from his henhouse. Then his camera reveals 2 hunched figures with oversized eyes clutching breakfast. When startled, they don't scatter mindlessly. They regroup instantly and bolt together into fog-thick woods with coordinated familiarity, as if they've done this before. Online debate split hard. Elaborate puppetry versus documented evidence of duendes, folklore goblins known for exactly this behavior. If intelligent scavengers know where farms keep food, how often do they visit undetected? Deep inside a remote wilderness where snow-capped peaks meet barren hills, Something massive moves across the ridgeline alone. The creature's gait is deliberate, unhurried, as if it owns this landscape completely. What unsettles me is how it pauses mid-stride, lifting its head to scan the horizon. Not like prey checking for danger, but like something aware it's being watched. Online, debate erupted instantly. Some insist it's just a grizzly passing through. Others point to the proportions, the stride length, the way it carries itself upright for those few seconds. If creatures this size can move undetected through open terrain, what walks through denser forests completely unseen? The footage comes from a security camera positioned deep in what appears to be a remote forest preserve, capturing movement no researcher expected.
El miedo camina con muchas patas, vive en bosques grises, fríos y lejanos. Pensar que vivimos en el mismo mundo con ellos parece ficción, pero muchos aseguran que es realidad.
Between the bare trees, something massive moves on legs impossibly long and thin, each step deliberate and silent. It doesn't flee when the motion sensor triggers. It continues forward, as if it's walked this path many times before. Online debate splits sharply. Some insist it's digitally manipulated, while cryptozoologists point to similar sightings from Eastern European woodlands, dating back decades. What unsettles me is the creature's gait, not panicked, not cautious, but routine, suggesting these woods belong to it, not us. A serpentine line of dark humps breaks the surface, each one sending ripples across flat Scottish water, before a long neck rises gracefully into view.
What's that in the water? Humps. Oh my god, is that Nessie?
Zoom in!
That's not a look. It's moving.
Long neck.
That's the
It
monster!
just looked at us. That's Nessie. Holy
Not
crap.
a whale, not
What
a
the hell
seal!
was that?
Did you get it on film?
The head turns toward the camera deliberately, studying the boat for several seconds, then plunges beneath the surface with violent force. What unsettles me isn't the creature's size, it's the awareness in that slow turn. Some viewers insist it's animatronics or clever editing, but the raw panic in those Scottish voices feels impossible to fake. If something this massive can vanish without trace in seconds, how often does it surface unnoticed? A moment that should have been sacred becomes the scene of sudden violence. Two figures stand beneath an ancient tree, hands clasped in what appears to be a formal ritual or pact, while their tribe watches in silence. Then, from nowhere, a fifth figure charges in and tackles one of them hard into the dirt. Within seconds, the entire group is brawling in the roots, grappling, rolling, chaos. Online debate split immediately. Some said this is clearly actors rehearsing for a fantasy film. Others pointed to the guttural language, the primitive clothing, the way they move, not staged, but instinctive. Personally, what unsettles me is how quickly ritual becomes violence. The footage is grainy, almost antique, taken from a fixed position high on a barren Scottish moor in early autumn. What crosses the frame moves with deliberate weight, something massive, plated, impossibly archaic. Its gait is slow, unbothered, as if it knows it belongs here more than anything else. Online reactions split instantly. Some dismissed it as costume work or clever digital layering. Others pointed to local folklore of armored beasts seen wandering the highlands for centuries, always alone, always silent. What unsettles me is its total indifference to exposure. It doesn't hide or hurry. If creatures like this still exist in open country, what else walks unnoticed? This clip spread rapidly online because the moment is extremely brief but deeply unsettling. A small creature, upright on its hind legs, drops and bolts across a foggy French forest before vanishing behind a tree with a perfectly oval hello. What unnerves viewers is the deliberate zoom afterward. The camera ignores where the animal went and instead fixates entirely on that dark hole, as if the filmers knew something was inside. Some argued it's just a young deer spooked by hikers. Others pointed out deer don't stand bipedal that long, and the whispered voices capture it, suggest this wasn't a random encounter. If they were tracking it, what made them certain it would return to that tree? Crickets fill the night air as a lone goat grazes inside a wire pen, its white coat glowing faintly under infrared. From absolute darkness, a skeletal figure emerges behind the fence, tall, bone-thin, with luminous eyes and small horns mimicking its prey. The goat bleats once, head jerking up. Before it can react, the creature vaults the barrier with inhuman speed, snatches the animal mid-struggle, and launches back over in one fluid motion. The pen falls silent. What disturbs me most isn't the attack. It's the calculated patience beforehand, as if this thing had been watching from the shadows for hours, waiting for the exact moment to strike. What makes this footage unsettling isn't the creatures themselves, but how effortlessly they move through terrain that should slow anything down. Someone rafting through a remote jungle river suddenly finds themselves surrounded by what look like living raptors, not just running, but leaping from water to bank with calculated precision. The panicked voices overlap. "They're jumping! Push off!" Online debate split instantly. Skeptics pointed to theme park animatronics, but others noted the creature's independent movement patterns, each taking different escape routes as if hunting cooperatively. Personally, what disturbs me is the coordination. If these were mechanical, why doesn't a single one repeat the exact same motion? Inside a weathered barn at dusk, something scatters when a ginger cat leaps away in alarm.
Entraron al establo, están cargando al gato, se cayeron con el balde. Existen. Yo no me voy a mover.
A farmer, filming from the shadows, watches four small humanoid figures drag what appears to be another creature toward the open doorway. They collide with a metal bucket, tumble, then frantically resume their task. Online reaction is divided. Skeptics point to the coordinated movements as proof of staged performance, but others note the filmer's trembling breath and whispered Spanish. They exist. What unsettles me is their urgency. If these things operate with such purpose inside human spaces, what task could demand that level of desperate cooperation? A boat cuts through murky jungle water at night when the spotlight hits something crouched on the muddy bank. The filmer's voice cracks immediately. What emerges isn't one creature, but an entire pack. Hairless, skeletal beings with glowing red eyes and mouths locked in permanent snarls. They don't scatter. They advance in formation, coordinated, deliberate. When the lead creature lunges into the water, the rest follow in a violent frenzy. Online reaction split instantly. Some called it obvious CGI. Others pointed to an indigenous folklore describing night hunters that travel rivers in packs. What unsettles me is the coordination. Random animals don't move like that. Something massive unfolds beneath the pines. What looked like earth becomes leathery wings stretching wide.
¿Estás viendo eso? Eso es demasiado grande. ¿Tiene alas? No puede ser. No se muevan. Eso no era un animal normal. Vámonos.
A couple filming from the overlook watches a reptilian neck rise above the treetops. Its head scanning deliberately before powerful wings beat once, bending nearby trees. The man's arm tightens around his companion as they whisper urgently in Spanish. Online, skeptics insist it's digital trickery. Yet what unsettles me is how the creature moves with anatomical precision. Breath visible, wings catching real wind resistance. If apex predators still hide in remote valleys, how many ridgelines have we stopped searching too soon? A ranch security camera watches a group of goats standing peacefully in their pen around midnight. Without warning, a massive pale shape swoops down from above, moving too fast for the camera to capture any clear form. The entire herd explodes into panic, scattering in every direction within seconds. Some online argue it's an owl hunting low, but the size is all wrong. Barn owls don't exceed 2 feet in wingspan, and this object stretches across nearly the entire frame. What's most unsettling is the goat's reaction. These are prey animals that know predators. They didn't hesitate or investigate. They ran.